We now build this whole world, social media, e-commerce, everything that today, if you take away your phone, you can't live. Right? So back then, I understood that this blockchain, back then it was just really called the Bitcoin industry. This is a new technology for moving value. So with this new technology, many new things will be built.
There's a question here, because there are so many technologies and so many ideas. How did you see so much future of this? Because back then we didn't have even the 5% of what we have now. And you even sold your house and you moved like all in the crypto. How could you see so much future on this one?
So it's not so much about any particular coin. It's not about Bitcoin. Back then there was many other coins as well. But it was the new technology, right? So this technology is a new technology for money. If internet was a new technology for information, this is a new technology for money. I kind of missed the internet days. I was just graduating from university and I kind of followed it through, but I wasn't quite ready to catch that opportunity. So in 2013, end of 2013, early 2014, I said, we gotta do something in this space. So I told my then business partner, I said, we should do some new project in this space. We were running an IT company. They said no, they're not really interested. They think this is crazy. So I quit my job, sold my house, bought Bitcoin, and started looking for a new job. So that means if you grab 100 random guys, not guys in this room, regular guys off the street, maybe 3 to 5 of them have some kind of crypto. But the second number is out of those guys who have crypto, how much of their net worth is in crypto? Probably less than 10% on average. So if we talk about adoption, we're still probably like 0.5% in terms of total net worth in crypto.
Yeah.
1% is usually the half mark. Adoption usually grows exponentially. So at 1%, the next year is 2%, the next year 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So it takes about 7 years after that to get full adoption. If we're
7 years from now?
7 doubles. If it doubles every year, then it will only take 7 years. But it may take longer than 7 each year to double, 1 year to double.
So we are now 23, you can say like until 2030, like this estimation, or?
I think it's going to take a bit longer than that. I think it's going to be like more like 10, 20 years. Okay. Because while this technology is very attractive, the disruption power is so high, we also have a lot of resistance. So many people are afraid of it. Banks, governments, regulators, just people who are
some of my next questions about
Okay.
The next question, because this is how it's going to be, but also because there's a lot of debate if we are in this bear market because of the Bitcoin halving, or is because of the global economy crisis, war, the things that happens with all the projects that failed this year, we saw. Or it's like, what's your take on this? Like, what's the reason first why we are here in this one?
Well, there's no one knows what the single reason is, and there's no single reason. We live in a mass market environment. So there's probably Binance has 130 million users. So there's probably like 500 million users around the world using crypto.
Yeah.
So with like 500 million users, everybody's buying and selling for different reasons. Someone wants to buy a house. Someone wants to get out of Ukraine. Somebody doesn't like the U.S. Some person in the U.S., etc. So there's all this kind of reasons. So there's no single reason. It's just mass psychology.
So it's not just because of the Bitcoin halving of every 4 years, because it was like almost changing that cycle. But then the war starts, and then we saw the fail of Luna, and we saw the fail of Celsius, and so many others. And like it was a messed up, and people confused about like it's going to be the next bull run at 24 because we have the Bitcoin halving, or it's going to be like
all I can say is in the past there has been very distinct cycles, and the bear market is 1 year. And we're kind of at the 1 year mark we're just over the 1 year mark from the last all-time high, which is a year ago in November.
So like we have 1 more year to recover.
Ideally, this might be, I don't know, so just based on history. But we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. There might be something worse, there might be something better.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that this cycle with the economy like itself is going to impact?
Yes, everything impacts. So the war, monetary policies, everything impacts. We're living in a global, interconnected economy. Everything impacts everything else. So we don't know. Yeah. So Even like guys running exchanges like ourselves, we see hundreds of millions of people buying and selling. We don't know why they buy or sell.
All right. Are we going to see any serious surprise or bad surprise in the future, like the one we had this year, the 3 months we had this year? What do you think? Because now, like, it's somehow like sensitive the market because of the bear market, and like we saw that some projects failing, some projects doing reasons, and some problems. Yeah.
So projects have always failed.
Yeah. But like any big hit like Luna or like
Creating your own wallet, that's decentralized. If you use Binance.com, if you trust wallet, it's decentralized. If you use Binance.com, it's centralized. Or they take a view says, look, if the other view is like, look, if you the number of coins are held by a wallet address, or the mining power by different nodes, or if you use a small number of nodes, then that's centralized. A larger number of nodes, then decentralized. So in a pure sense, if you want full decentralization, then everyone needs to be on their own. There can be no collaboration, no teamwork, nothing. If you and I work together, then that's centralization.
yeah.
Right? And if 7,000 people work in Binance and we build a platform, that's centralization. But guess what? Every single crypto project today is done by a team. That's centralization, right? So if you look at Dogecoin, the top 20 addresses hold more than 50% of the coins.
Really?
Is that centralization or not?
Yeah.
You look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the top two mining pools control more than 51% of the hash power.
Wow.
Is that centralization or not? And then you look at Ethereum or Binance being Bitcoin, you can identify the founder, which we probably would have outsourced together all in one step. I think today most people are still more familiar or more comfortable with the email, password, customer support. This is why today centralized exchanges like us still have the most number of users in the ecosystem. Over time, as tool gets better, I think that will change.
All right. Yeah. So next question. Yeah. First, you can break.
It's okay, we can ask the question.
Thank you. Μέχρι τώρα είμαστε καλά, καταλαβαίνουμε.
Πάντα.
Τώρα μπορεί να υπάρχουν κάποιες λέξεις που μπορεί να είναι άδειες.
Lovely.
Okay. Αλλά θα τις καλύψουμε με υπότιτλους. So the next question is about the institutional adoption. When are we going to see more? Because we already had it, but like, you know, at the level that will really like be billions, a lot of billions or trillions into it, so like to push and to get.
I think there's already quite a lot of institutional adoption. So Binance is more of a retail platform, but like 30% of our clients are actually institutional.
Combination. Yeah. Okay. But do you think that it's possible also like other countries we're going to see like in the next few years starting?
Yeah, for sure. I think it most likely will start with the countries that don't have their own currency. Actually, Europe, most countries don't have their own currency, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But in many other countries, like El Salvador didn't have their own currency. Central African Republic didn't have their own currency. So those countries will start first. The smaller countries will start first. I think.
All right. And what about the global crypto regulations? Do you think that they're going to happen somehow soon? Because there is some information that if we have this in like, let's say 6 months, there will be some order there, and there will be the crypto again, like doing some cycles and going up. Or you think that's something that will take long to happen? And like also like, and also like now it's most important, I think, in the US what's happening because it's the biggest economy. And yeah.
So I think it's already happening. France gave us a license in April. Italy gave us a license, a registration in May. Spain followed in May or June. We got a full license in Bahrain in February, and then Dubai in March. So all those things happened.